so it's your second time in Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
The last time it was in Porto in Amplifest.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, of course. I wish I could spend more time here. Both times it's very quick, just kind of like playing a show and then leaving the next morning, unfortunately. But it seems really beautiful, and I've met a lot of nice people here.
What do you think about the Portuguese crowd? They're very enthusiastic.
I hope so. I mean, it's hard to tell because I feel like they're also very quiet, which is really nice, you know, and I think they're being attentive. But it's hard to read for maybe just for an American. I don't know what anyone's thinking, you know. But I think they liked it. Hopefully.
It's the way that we feel the music, because your music can be like that. Feel like I don't know, like relax and
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I hope for anyways, is that people can just close their eyes and feel the music. So it's good.
Now, your last album, Pain is Beauty, it's opposite things. How we can mix the pain and the beauty?
Well, the title came from, I was really inspired by the intensity of nature and natural disasters and things like that. And the title came from when I was reading about forest fires and how it's, you know, it obviously seems so intense and kind of horrible, but it's a regenerative process, and it cleans the forest floor and makes way for new growth. So I thought that was a good metaphor for our own lives, and you know, there's always going to be pain and hard things that we have to overcome, but I think that if we do fight and overcome them, then we can come out on the other side with a more beautiful perspective. So that's what that title means for me.
I read that this album, it's more yourself. You'll be honest with you and your music.
Yeah, I think I'm getting there with being a little bit more personal in my albums. I tend to not write about my own life or my own personal stories, but I guess it's always from my perspective, and this one was like a little bit more of stuff from my own life that I kind of injected into the music. So yeah, I think it was a little more personal, and maybe the next album will be even more personal. I'm getting used to that a little bit.
You are a shy person, and it's difficult to speak about your feelings.
I mean that, and I don't know. Like when I was first making music, when I was in my early 20s, I was writing, you know, like breakup songs and really just personal stuff about my own life, and I didn't feel comfortable at all. So I made this album and just kind of like trashed it, and took about a year off from music, and then started over again in 2009 with The Grime and the Glow, because I didn't want it to be so much about myself, and I just had to find like a new perspective. So I think it's fine to write about your own life, and I think there's a lot of great albums that are about, you know, someone's relationship or someone's own life, but for me it just didn't feel right.
Music usually we listen have to be a title or have to be a gender or something. Your music is we don't have like that, a gender, or we can just listening.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to experiment so much with different genres. I can't really stick to one genre, so I just don't, you know. Yeah.
So your album, it's about mythology and how ancestors lived, how that can influence our personality too.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, especially that song, obviously, Ancest, the Ancients, was kind of about that, and just learning a little bit about my own ancestry, and wondering if it had an effect on me, and just in general, if our family and our ancestry can really like determine who we are or determine bits of our personality. I think there are certain things that you can't really get away from as much as you try, and it's kind of just going to be like a constant fight your whole life, but that's just how life is. So, yeah.
You will return again to Portugal?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I'll be working on a new album later this year, and then as soon as that's out, sometime next year, we'll do another tour with new songs and stuff. So yeah, we'll be back. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.